Good morning, ma'am.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone.
Ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, beta. शी कैसे
Good
हो?
morning, ma'am.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Fine.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
ma'am.
morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning. I hope you all are doing fine. Good morning, beta Saksham.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Was this Arushi or Avantika?
Ma'am Arushi.
Arushi. Okay.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Aryan. So, how are your books going on?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Huh? Aryan,
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
how are
ma'am.
your books going on?
Some books.
You own a house, no? Aryan Publications?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Morning.
Yes, beta. Let everybody join. We'll start with the geography class. Yesterday, I'm sorry, it is history or geography? Okay, history.
Ma'am, today we will start the first chapter of history.
Yes. I think we have already started, no?
Yes, ma'am, but not the
Yes,
reading
ma'am.
part.
Not the reading part. You need to tell me that up till where or how much I have explained to you.
Ma'am, you have to give us a brief about the chapter.
Okay, I have given you a brief of the chapter. Did I tell
No,
you?
ma'am, you have, ma'am, about the
Huh?
situation which we have to talk about in the
About
chapter.
about the what? About the
About the starting of the chapter, I mean what is happening in this chapter.
okay, fine.
Morning, ma'am.
Ma'am, you just gave a small intro.
I gave a small intro of the chapter. Did I explain you about the society setup in the country?
No, ma'am, you haven't.
Ma'am, today we have to study history, ma'am.
Yes, beta. We have history.
Good morning,
Okay, ma'am.
Good morning. Oh, Vyom, how are you?
ma'am. Fine.
Can you all see the board?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, fine.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Parush? No, Prashasti? You can't see the board?
No, ma'am.
Why?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the board
Yes,
is.
ma'am.
Ma'am, दिख तो रहा है.
Ma'am,
Okay.
Ma'am, it is
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. It is all white, no? That is why maybe you're not able to, what do you call, judge whether it is a board or the wall, right? Now can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. See, when we talk of the French Revolution, we are basically concerned. Am I audible to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
I think I
Yes,
need
ma'am.
to read my earphones. Fine. Now it is more clear, I believe. Huh? Okay. So in this French Revolution, what all topics we are going to cover, that I am telling you here. See, first of all, we'll be reading about the French society during the 18th century.
Ma'am, do we have to write this in a copy?
No. This is just to make you understand. If you want, you can write, but not mandatory, okay? Then we are going to read the outbreak of revolution. And then after the revolution happened, how France abolishes monarchy and establishes France abolishes monarchy and becomes / declares itself republic. Right? Then we will be reading about that what was the role of women in the revolution, whether they were part of it or not. Did women participate in revolution? And then the abolition of slavery. See, these are the major topics, class, that we are going to cover in this chapter. First of all, we will be reading that. What was the society set up in France during the 18th century, right? What was the old regime? There are several terms that have been used in the chapter, which you people are not, acquainted with, or maybe you are not aware of those terms, right? So we'll be reading about the society set up in France. What was the society set up and how this society setup became one reason for the revolt or for the revolution in France. Then how the revolution broke out, how the people, showed the outrages that came, that was coming from the third estate which was there, and how everybody, wanted to come out of those chains that were, that they were into. They were not happy with the kind of system that was followed by the monarch. Then how the monarchy was abolished and France was declared as a republic. What is a republic? Do you know?
Ma'am, in which there is a constitutional head.
Yes, where we have a head who is elected constitutionally, right? Very good, Rishesh. Then we will also come to know, like, I have been telling you this several times, that many countries in the world, like if you take example of India had given equal rights to the women, to children, everybody. Whatever rights were there, rights were practiced equally for everybody in the country, but not everywhere in the world. If you take example of France, in France, women were not at all given any kind of rights. They were completely the subject of either before marriage of their fathers and after marriages of their husbands, right? They never had an identity of their own, in the sense they were not given any kind of political equality. They were not supposed to participate in any of the political activities that was there. So in France itself, during the French Revolution also, before and after, women, like after the French Revolution, how women also started fighting for their own political rights. Like they had no, like before the revolution happened, these females, they were working, they were supporting the family, but then they had no access to the education. They were neither, like if they were married, and if their marriage was not a successful marriage, then they were not supposed to take divorce also. Like it was not legal to take divorce. But after revolution, all those provisions which were not there earlier in the society for the women, they were made mandatory, or or somehow they came into practice, right? Education, women got access to education. Then they also fought for their rights. Like if they were not happy with the marriage ties that were there, they could file for a divorce. Legally they could file for a divorce. Earlier this thing was not there. So, and moreover, like right to property, like that we have in our country, though in our country it came quite late for the females, but still we had that right. There in France, the females were not having that right to property also, right, class?
Ma'am, during
Yes, ma'am.
that time, a man could divorce his woman.
Huh. It was easy for the man to divorce the wife, but then for wives it was not very easy. For them there were certain foundations. Like आज भी अगर आप देखो हमारे समाज में, हमारे society में, there are there are people, those who don't agree to this. They feel कि भाई अगर divorce ले लिया तो how they are going to face people in the society, क्या बोलेंगे, क्यों divorce हो गया, क्या वजह थी भाई. People will pinpoint the female only. But in the present time things have changed. People have become very, they have become quite normal with these things, because they feel that if a marriage is not a successful marriage, it is fine to get divorced and start a new life, right? But during that time, in that society, it was something which was not acceptable at all. Right?
Okay, ma'am.
Then we all know that slavery was prevalent since the 13th and the 14th century, right? How in France, when was slavery introduced, when it was abolished, how many times it was removed, and how many times it was introduced? Like if I talk about the slavery part, when Robespierre, when after the monarchy was abolished, after that when Robespierre came to power, he during that time period, he abolished the slavery in the country. He said nobody will be working as slaves, everyone will be free to do whatever they want to do, but nobody will take anybody as a bonded labor, or nobody will be practicing slavery in the country. But when the Robespierre government changed after that, and when Napoleon came in the scene, when Napoleon Bonaparte took the control of France in his hands, that time he again reintroduced slavery. But soon the slavery was abolished, right? Because of the opposition that that Napoleon had to bear, from various territories which were governed by him. So finally in France also, this slavery was completely abolished. And then the last topic that we will be covering is the revolution in everyday life. Like, we don't say that revolutions happen all of a sudden. See, revolutions are there in everyday life also. It is just that what is our outlook towards the things, toward the concepts, toward the issues that are, that are building up, that are coming up in the society. So the main thing that we'll be reading in this revolution is how, in France, every day people were struggling for something or the other, and finally, ultimately, this French Revolution happened. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Tarun wants to say something. Tarun?
Ma'am, in this chapter, we'll study about the Battle of Calais.
No. We are not going to study about any battle. We are just going to read about the revolution. How in France this revolution happened, and how the French Revolution changed the complete thinking of whole of the Europe, how the revolution in France affected the other countries which were under the control of monarchs or different kingdoms that were ruling over the European countries or the European states, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Fine. So these are the main topics that we are going to study, but then there are many subtopics also in these major topics, right? Now coming to the
Ma'am, in this chapter, ma'am, we will also study, ma'am, what was happened in the French Revolution, ma'am, what was the battle, ma'am, like?
yes, we will be reading about exclusively about the French Revolution, how this revolution happened, what were the major reasons behind the French Revolution, right?
Okay, ma'am.
See, India, if you like yesterday also in the class, I told you that our constitution has adopted several, norms of various countries' constitution. The clause that we have, they are all of the various countries which are there, just to get a better, just to have the best constitution in the world, right? So this French Revolution, the ideals that were, highlighted in the French Revolution became part of our what? Preamble, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the first topic that you have in the book is the French society during the 18th century, late 18th century. In this, we'll be reading that, how, okay, let me write. France in the late 18th century. Right? Now, what were the conditions in? Yes, Arushi.
Ma'am, before this, a small part about the storming of Bastille is also given in the book on the very first page.
Okay, that first page that is given in your book, that is actually about when actually the revolution happened. They have given you reference of 14th July 1789. It was the day when the revolution actually happened, right? Now on this particular date, on this particular
Ma'am, this
date,
is the National Day of France.
yes, because on this date the monarchy was uprooted completely. After this, there were several events that abolished monarchy completely in the country and established France as a republic. And the ideals of liberty, fraternity, freedom, all these ideals were imposed. People wanted that they should like the France was declared as a nation state. It was declared as a nation state where people were the subject of the nation, but not the subject of the monarch or the king, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So that first page actually tells you that on 14th July 1789, a group of people, they were marching towards the fort of Bastille, and Bastille was that fort where the prisoners were kept. Some of the people who raised their voices against the monarch, they were kept over there, and this whole crowd was actually this whole crowd went over there to make them free. And that Bastille fort which was there, it was completely stormed, it was completely destructed, and many of the people, those who were there at that time, they took ऐसा होता है ना, कई बार हम कुछ चीजों के, जैसे हम किसी अच्छी जगह पे जाते हैं तो वहां के कुछ मेमोरीज के तौर पे हम वी ब्रिंग समथिंग और द अदर. जैसे अगर कोई, जैसे when I was in college, I went to Nanak Mata for the first time. Somebody told me that the people tree that is over there, it has got historical relevance. So I took a leaf of that, and it is still with me. Like I went there long time back, but still I have that leaf as a memory that I visited Nanak Mata for the first time in so and so year, right? So that way people wanted to keep the remains of that stormed palace, so that they can remember it, that they were the ones who were part of abolishing monarchy. They were the ones who actually stood against the monarchs, and they had the courage to break, they had the courage to destruct the fort that was considered to be the symbol of despotic rule, right? Right, class?
Ma'am, what does despoted rule mean?
Despotic beta, despotic matlab dictator beta, where the king has all the powers, the king acts as a monarch, despotic power, all the powers in the hand of just one individual, autocratic rule जिसको हम बोलते हैं,
Okay, ma'am.
ठीक है? Right? So that first page, Arushi, is basically they have given you an introduction कि भाई फ्रांस में revolution हो गया है, but वो revolution कैसे हुआ, क्यों हुआ, why the crowd was so angry, why the king had to call for the forces, why the king had to send the army to control the public, all these things. This is just an introduction to the revolution that happened in France. But why this revolution happened, why people were unhappy, why they wanted to destroy the fortress of Bastille, what were the reasons behind it, why the king was so furious, then why they wanted to keep the destructed parts of that palace which was there, what was the significance of that, what was why they hated that fort, what were the reasons behind it, that we need to study first, right? Reading that just first page will not give you any clue about the French Revolution, right?
Okay, ma'am.
हाँ,
Okay, ma'am.
fine. See, the story goes like this, that in France, the Bourbon dynasty was the ruling dynasty, right? Which dynasty was the ruling dynasty?
Bourbon.
हाँ. This Bourbon dynasty which was there, it was ruling in France for quite a long time, right? Now, the rulers of the Bourbon dynasty, they were involved in, a series of wars to support America to get back its colonies, right? But when Louis XVI, in the late 18th century, Louis XVI, he became the king, right? He became the king of France. But when he became the king of France, he was very young at that time. And when the throne was given to him, he was, just married, and the wife he had, she was from Austria, and she was a princess where she had led a very lavish life, right? Right, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Yes, ma'am.
the palace where the king was living, that was a very that was a very grand, very huge palace, and lot of money was spent on the maintenance of the palace, right? Now, when he became the king, he found that there was acute shortage of finances. Now, why this acute shortage was there of finances? It was because of the prolonged wars that France was involved in. The army was also involved in that, and
Ma'am, during whose rule there was a huge.
Beta, when Louis XVI, when Louis XVI took up the throne, he found that the treasury was completely empty,
ma'am.
right? The treasury was completely empty. And when he asked for the reasons that why there is no money in the treasury, he was told that the country was involved in wars for quite a long time. There were prolonged wars in which the French army was participating, and the whole of the money had went on the expenses of the army itself. Plus, the court that was there of the king, that was also an extravagant court where a lot of money was used for the maintenance of the court, right? Then he also came to know that France was under heavy debts. Livers जो थे, liver is the currency that was used before the 18th century in France. During the 18th century, sorry, right? So the king also came to know that the country was running under debt also, and the country had to pay a lot of loan money with interest back to many of the people. So everybody was demanding that money back, because there is a particular duration or time period when people, you know, allow you to have the money which is given on loan, right? So they also started, as soon as he became the king, things became completely worse for Louis XVI, right? So now he discussed this, you know, with his court members. Estate generals were there. So he decided, he said that there is no other provision. Let us do one thing. Let us impose taxes on the people. Now, the king was not the authority to impose taxes. There was a proper procedure that, you know, after the meeting of the estate general, the parliament that was there. So after the meeting of the estate general only, when the voting was done, and after the voting only, the tax could be increased. So the king said that let us go for the estate general meeting and let us declare new taxes over there only. Plus, these were the reasons. Plus, the main thing that was reason for that was in the late 18th century prevalent in France was the society which was based on the feudal system. What is feudal system? Anybody knows?
Ma'am, where we have
which
no
system?
constitution.
Feudal.
Ma'am, where we get certain privileges from birth.
Feudal system में.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Are you
landlord
sure?
system.
हाँ, exactly. Feudal system. जैसे if you go back in, you know, the Mughal period or in the Delhi Sultanate period, इक्ता system था, mansabdari system था. पता है आपको ना? Do you remember?
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है. तो ठीक ऐसे feudal system जो था, हाँ, feudal system was prevalent in Europe. European societies में जो था, वो आपका ये feudal system was prevalent. अब इस feudal system में क्या था? भाई landlords हुआ करते थे, ठीक है? Feudal lords हुआ करते थे, and these feudal lords, they were supposed to collect the taxes. अब society setup कुछ इस तरीके का था फ्रांस का. Now coming to the society setup. We say, suppose this is how the society was divided. See, on the top, the king was there, right? Then,
Nobles.
then we had the first estate.
The clergy.
Then we had the second estates. Sorry, first estate, second estate, and we had the third estates. Now the worst thing of this third estate was that this third estate was again divided into three parts, right? See, first estate comprised of the nobles. The second estate comprised of the clergy. Now these nobles were the feudal lords, right? And the clergy were the people who were part of the church, and they were also given certain privileges by the king. So these two estates which were there, the first and the second estates were debarred, or were what do you call? They were free, or they were not bound. We can say it this way, that the first and the second estates which were there, they were not paying taxes. Now, why they were not paying taxes? Because they were the privileged class. They were the privileged classes. That is why they were not giving taxes. Right? Right, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Now, when we talk of the third estate, the third estate comprised of three subgroups. The first subgroup had the businessman, the merchant, court officials, and the lawyers. If we talk of the first subgroup, businessman, merchants, court officials, then कोर्ट ऑफिशियल्स हो गए, फिर लॉयर्स, right? These people, they were part of the first subgroup of the third estate. Now these people were not supposed to give taxes. They were free from the taxes, right? Then coming to the next set which was there, the B subgroup of the third estate comprised of the peasants and the artisans, right? And the third group which was there, it comprised of the landless, farmers, peasants, then the labor class, the laborers which were there. Then it also comprised of the servants, right?
Ma'am,
Right.
the third estate.
The third estate
Okay, ma'am.
divided into three parts. The first part comprised of the businessmen, merchants, court officials, and lawyers. They were not supposed to give the taxes. Then the second of the third estate were peasants and artisans. Again, they were not supposed to give the taxes. But in the third estate, the third segregation that was there, the last in the bottom ones, they were the ones who were supposed to give the taxes. And maximum of the taxes were given by these people because they were made to give the taxes. So this was something which was not accepted by the people in the society. They said that we are as it is, we are the class which is not getting anything, still we are made to pay everything. Like they were the ones who were supposed to give the revenues, they were the ones on which the taxes were imposed, they were the ones who were giving tithis also, tallies also, the taxes that were directly collected by the state and the taxes that were collected by the church, by the clergy which was there, right? So this was something which made the people come into unrest. Plus society setup, plus there was subsistence crisis in the country. Now, what is this subsistence crisis? Do you know?
Ma'am, gap between the rich and poor.
No. Subsistence crisis. Basically,
Ma'am, a situation where livelihood is in danger.
See, it is a situation, it is a condition where the basic needs of a person is not fulfilled. Like these people, the people of France who were there, they were dying of hunger because the crops had failed, prices had risen too high, plus the population had grown so much because of the improvement in the technology and the sciences, plus the basic amenities of the life were not there for the people. People were dying of hunger, they had no shelter with them, they had no food to eat, they had no clothes to wear. So because of all these things, these are the basic amenities of the life that a person requires, no? So these basic amenities, the people of France were not able to get. So because
You
of this,
told a story related to this.
yes, tell me which story I told you.
Ma'am, the people of France were dying of hunger, so the ladies went to the queen that we want food, we do not have bread and butter to feed our children. Then the queen said that feed them cakes.
Exactly. This is what happened, that is why women got furious. That is why they also, joined the men, those who were furious, those who did not like the idea of the taxes being imposed on them. And they said, we will also join because we we are in the hands of such people who are so merciless, who are so, you know, emotionless, that they don't understand what exactly the mother goes through when the child is dying of hunger, right? Yes, yes. I think now the chapter, you will be able to understand the chapter completely. It won't be, it will not seem difficult to you people, right?
Ma'am, first state is clergy and second is noble.
Yes, ma'am, in the book.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
sorry.
ma'am, in the book
Sorry.
it is written.
Sorry. Clergy
Yes, ma'am.
and the nobles, right? Now these clergy and the nobles who were,
What is mean by clergy?
बेटा clergy were the people who were associated with the church. आपके bishops वगैरह होते हैं, priest वगैरह होते हैं church में जो,
Yes, ma'am.
they were part of the church. ये church को belong करते थे clergy men जो होते हैं, ठीक है? And nobles,
Okay.
and nobles were the people who were considered as the feudal lords, landlords जिनको हम बोलते हैं, या feudal lords थे ये, जो कि land पे revenue collect करते थे by the people of the third estate, the landless farmers or the peasants, the laborers and the servants which were there, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Anything up till here not understood or clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now these clergy, those who were there, now there were certain, you know, provisions with these people also. The clergy which was there in the society, they were the people who enjoyed privileges by birth. Like since the time of their birth, because they were part of the clergy, they had certain privileges. They were given land of free of cost. They were not supposed to give the taxes. They were not supposed to give revenue. Then they were exempted from paying taxes. Plus I told you about taxes, no? They were allowed to take tithis, which was a kind of tax that was taken by the church. So these were the privileges that these clergy people had. Then the nobility which was there, again, they were given feudal privileges, right? They were given the right to collect the taxes. Plus they were exempted from paying taxes. They were not supposed to give any tax at all. Then they were the ones who were extracting or who were taking taxes, which were named as tele, right? It was the state imposed tax that they were collecting, right, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the third estate which was there, as I told you, all of the burden of the taxes was borne by the third estate, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Okay. I think we have very less time left, so I will not start with something new. The subsistence crisis is clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Generally,
Yes,
see, generally this subsistence crisis happens only because of, see, when there is rapid increase in the population, and because of the rapid increase in the population, it increases the demand for the food grains. And when the food grains are increased, the wages do not increase with the percentage of the increase in the food prices. Then why the food prices, why there is a shortage of food, or why the food prices go up? It is because when the country or the state or the region faces any kind of, you know, situation where the production does not turn out to be the way it was expected. Like, you know, in when we talk of France being a cold country, because of the hail and the drought situation, there